Hello everybody, and welcome to Ancient Architects. Please subscribe now to get the latest ancient history news and independent research from around the world. This past week, an incredible archaeological discovery has been announced from the Old Kingdom 5th Dynasty Pyramid of Sahure, which dates back to the 24th to 25th century BC. Yes, a previously undiscovered corridor and series of rooms or magazines have been found leading off from the eastern side of the pyramid's antechamber. Sahure was the second pharaoh of the 5th dynasty, succeeding Usakaf, who was most likely his father, although this can't be confirmed. Usakaf's pyramid was built in Saqqara, a stone's throw away from the step pyramid of Djoser. But Sahure's pyramid was the first to be built at Abu Sir, a location that was used by Usakaf for his sun temple, and so Sahure began a new era of pyramid building in this region. The layout of the pyramid complex would be adopted by succeeding kings of the 5th and 6th dynasties, making this funerary structure a milestone in pyramid complex construction. But today the pyramid looks like a picture of destruction. The fine Chura limestone casing has been robbed and the core masonry looks dilapidated. The internal passages and chambers were in just as bad a state when they were first entered into in the modern era in the 19th century. It was John Shae Perring who entered the pyramid at this time, making detailed records and diagrams of the pyramid's substructure, which was a risky and dangerous exercise due to the terrible state of the pyramid. The inside was filled with rubbish, sand and fallen and broken stones, and the pyramid really was a crumbling mess. And even in the 19th century, stones continued to fall through an opening in the ceiling. When Perring's team began removing some of the stone, the side of the pyramid gave way, and completely buried one of the labourers. With a number of workers sent away, Perring continued excavating with a handful of his best men. Perring's work was really so important to pyramid study, and he was incredibly meticulous and accurate with his recordings. Interestingly, back in the 19th century, he was the first to predict there was more to find inside the pyramid. To get an idea of the layout of the internal structure, we have this fantastic diagram from Keith Hamilton's fantastic Layman's Guide, which I've linked below. You can see the descending passageway, the vestibule, portcullis, sloping passage and the antechamber. The antechamber would lead to a burial chamber to the west, but as this diagram from Perring shows, the western side of this central structure is under rubble. Yes, the central structure of this pyramid really was a complete mess. The destruction was so extensive that you couldn't make out if the entrance corridor led to a crypt, antechamber or both, but Perring did say he found fragments of a basalt sarcophagus. In recent years, the central structure of this pyramid was cleared out, and to the west there was clear evidence of another chamber, which, due to its position, and based on our knowledge of 5th and 6th dynasty pyramids, can only be the burial chamber. Therefore, after leaving the entrance corridor, you first entered the antechamber. To the west of the antechamber is the burial chamber, which is still in a ruinous state today. So what do we find to the east? Well, going back to Keith's diagram, and we can see that he labels an area magazines, and this is based on Perring's diagram shown here. Perring said there was the beginning of a low passage in the eastern wall of the antechamber, and it measured 0.9 metres in width. Being such a dangerous structure to explore, the small passage was never excavated, and its existence was even denied in 1907 when Ludwig Borchardt went into the pyramid. But in recent years, a team led by Egyptologist Dr. Mohamed Ismail Khaled have been working to re-excavate the pyramid, to continue the work that was started by Perring well over a century ago. Fallen stones and sand were removed, retaining walls were re-erected to support the ceilings, and the entrance corridor and antechamber were fully excavated. In doing their work, Perring's observed passageway, labelled C on this diagram and denied by Borchardt, was confirmed by Khaled and his team, and it's this part of the pyramid that has made headlines this past week. The passageway was cleared out by an Egyptian and German team, led by Khaled, and now 8 storage rooms have been uncovered. The northern and southern parts of this area have been badly damaged, especially the floor and ceiling, but remnants of the original walls and also parts of the floor can be seen. I'm yet to see a floor plan of the newly discovered section of this pyramid, but reports say it has been carefully documented. As well as being excavated, the area is also being restored to ensure it is structurally sound to welcome further study and maybe also visitors in the future. State-of-the-art technology including 3D laser scanning with a portable Zeb Horizon LiDAR scanner has been employed, and so the interior of this new section has been recorded before the area is reconstructed. To learn more about the Pyramid of Sahure, I would like to direct you to this video by Doug from History for Granite, who I recently had the pleasure to tour Egypt with, alongside Keith Hamilton and NEXT. The video really is a fantastic and detailed look at this structure, and he shows and explains the development of 5th and 6th dynasty pyramid substructures so well. This was Doug's schematic picture of how the new area may look, and that's based on his observations, and also when Khaled and his team confirmed the discovery of 6 magazines in 2020. But we now know there are in fact 8, and so this diagram does need changing, and hopefully a detailed ground plan will emerge in due course. Now, every Old Kingdom pyramid was likely plundered in antiquity, hence why we don't often find any grave goods or human remains inside. Pyramids are enormous beacons in the landscape, and with every period of history, it's very likely that grave robbers, new ruling families and conquerors entered the pyramids, always in search of treasure. Finding a mummified king and grave goods in the modern era is therefore extremely unlikely, because there's been more than 4,000 years of history. But Doug ends his video by speculating that the remains of Sahure could still be inside, there waiting in the now dilapidated burial chamber, which is still unexplored today. I won't go into his reasoning, but it is a sound idea, so please do check out his video, and I've linked it below in the description. It really is fantastic that new discoveries are still being made in Old Kingdom pyramids. With the Scan Pyramids mission finding the North Face corridor and Big Void in the Great Pyramid, and with seeing muon detection plates inside the Menkaure Pyramid when I visited 2 weeks ago, and with the incredibly important work being undertaken by Dr. Khaled and his team at the Pyramid of Sahure, well, it's clear there is still a lot more to come from these truly enigmatic structures. Thank you very much for watching this episode of Ancient Architects. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the channel, please like the video, and please leave a comment below. Thank you very much.